Well, we're set for a CUNY South Division matchup tonight here from York College in Jamaica, Queens. Joe Massey, along with John Sorense and Sean Couch. Happy to have everybody with us. Happy to have you along, fellas. It's an interesting matchup tonight because neither of these ball clubs, we don't want to start out with a negative, but neither of these ball clubs have been able to compile very many CUNY wins.
No, both teams are having a little bit of a down year. But there's still a little bit of hope for both teams because the last playoff spot is on the line. A win by either team could go a long way to cementing that final playoff spot.
York is 1-8 in the CUNY, and Medgar Evers is yet to win a game in the CUNY. They're 0-9. In fact, the win for York
was against Medgar. Yeah.
It was against Medgar Evers. It's 1-6, by the way, for the York Cardinals is what we have on here. So that was their only win. However, we will get a look at some pretty talented young players for York. And right off the bat, York has the ball, and they work it around on the perimeter. Now they try to go down low with it, but the pass is over the head of the young lady down there, and it ends up going out of bounds. Not in the starting lineup tonight is York's best player, Sade Rice. So right off the bat, we're not looking at Sade here.
Yeah, we were just speaking before the game. Sade, one of the more talented players in the league, averaging 14.1 points per game, which ranks fourth in the conference at this point.
Medgar Evers has one of their top players back, and she was not in the lineup last time when the Cardinals faced them, number 5, Giovanna Jack. There's a turnover, and York comes up with it, and here is Josama going quickly into the lane. Puts it up, no good, tries to top it back and does so. And so the Cardinals keep the ball. That was Joanna Josama, who is a veteran on this team. Cardinals again work it around the perimeter. Ball goes on the baseline, and we get the first two of the night on the baseline jumper there by LaToya Bowes to get York on the scoreboard first.
Bowes is normally coming off the bench, but tonight she gets an opportunity to start with Rice out of the lineup.
Down to the right baseline, carrying the ball was Chantel Bichette, and she lost it. So the black of Medgar Evers turns it over, and York will take it from the backcourt. Number 24 is Vanessa Rivera for the Cardinals. And Rivera will take it up. She is a senior out of Queens, New York, Grover Cleveland High School. And you can see she's playing with the protective mask. Here's Josama, and that is a 3.
Yeah, Josama's got the ability to hit a three-pointer. She actually leads the team in three-point percentage this season.
She is 29 of 101 coming in for 28%. There's a miss by Medgar Evers, and York turns it up quickly with the 5-0 lead. Cardinals in the home white. They go up top to the big girl, biggest girl on the team, Danielle Dunn. Then they work to the perimeter, and Dunn has an open look and banks it in, John and Sean.
Yeah, York is off to a good start. You could say Medgar's really missing their starting point guard, Tiffany Woodbine. She was their catalyst right now, and they don't have any continuity on offense at this point.
So far to this point, and it's well down into the season, as there's a turnaround by their leading scorer, Chantel Bichette. She scores.
Well, Chantel Bichette is one of the bright spots for Medgar Evers. She pretty much accounts for a good portion of their offense every game.
Yeah, she's averaging 15 points a game for
Almost 16, Sean. Yeah, 15.9.
Yeah, she's their offense. She's their most skilled player. She has to play point guard, but she's a 2-3 sort of wing slasher. So she has to do a lot more with the point guard out.
This is a traditionally weak program on the women's side here at Medgar Evers. There's a drive into the lane by St. Louis of York, and Vanna St. Louis knocked over the Medgar Evers player, gets an offensive foul, gets her first. They really have not fielded great teams over the years. Some years they've had some pretty decent squads, but once again struggling as Dunn takes it off on the miss. So they've had their work cut out for them year after year. You like the way the ladies at Medgar Evers play. They always play with a lot of desire, but they always seem to be battling an uphill situation. St. Louis carried that ball. She actually got it caught on her hip, and that's another mistake. So Medgar Evers will get it back.
Well, St. Louis got a couple of turnovers here in the early going, but she is one of York's most promising freshman players. I think
she's fast.
She's fast. She's a good size, and she's a good all-around player for them.
Ball goes to Jack. Jack is a very active player for Medgar Evers. Missed. Got the rebound inside the Lady Cougars, and they couldn't convert. Rebound was grabbed by Braithwaite, and she couldn't put it in. Now a jumper from outside by York is missed. And there is St. Louis, just as John spoke of her, going to the glass, picking it off. Now, John, they had a very active girl in Naya Jarvis here, and then they had Mamuna Dabo, and they would do that type of thing. But as we were speaking about before the game, with Shonda Rice coming into the program and doing so well, boy, could she use some help. And those two players were terrific players.
Yeah, it's really been a rebuilding year this year for York. Last year, four starters from last year are no longer with the team. 3 graduated, 1 transferred. So it's been a difficult season because they pretty much had to start fresh, with the exception of Sade and Joanna Rosano.
7-2 as the free throws were missed by St. Louis, both of them. Then a miss by Medgar Evers, and here comes Josama. Josama behind the back pass off to Rivera, puts it in.
Oh, nice looking pass by Josama right there.
So Vanessa Rivera gets her first 2 of the night. The Cardinals, the ladies, are coached by Winifred Brown, who's been here for many years. And Winifred, by the way, a timeout called by Medgar Evers as they're down 9-2 in the early going. So this is a good time for a timeout. Sean, of course, Coach John Jay, Sean Couch, our broadcast partner. Sean, a timeout has to be taken right now.
No, absolutely. Medgar doesn't have an answer in terms of what York is doing. They're being out-rebounded. And also offensively, they're not spreading the floor. They're relying on the dribble. And right now, their offense is just out of whack. They have to take their time, look inside, maybe go in and out, and try to get some better looks at the basket.
Of course, for many years, the Medgar Evers Cougars were coached by Roy Anderson, who was also the athletic director at the program. And Eric James is the new coach there. And Eric, as we said, has had his work cut out for him. But you know, there's always a teaching situation to be had.